Good evening, cyberspace cadets. It's Irate Prostate here, and that's Monday night and Irate Mondays with Chaos 120. That's what we're doing now. And in the studio with me currently are the lovely TerraSynn. The next 6 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, how are you?
And Vetran Mountainman.
Hey, everyone.
What is up? So we've been talking a little bit about the deal that happened at the Red Hen restaurant. Kind of, I don't know if it's a mix-up, but it's, I guess, differences of opinion as to exactly whether what happened afterwards was, you know, what was the reason. All right. I guess what we need to do is maybe look up a.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in a quarter eating paste, essentially.
It's what?
There's a bunch of people in the corner eating paste, because I think everybody in this situation really massively did something stupid. The protesters should not have been in the restaurant. Yeah. The owners should have gotten rid of the protesters instead of Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I'm getting that Sarah Huckabee Sanders shouldn't have used her work Twitter to comment on the subject.
Yeah.
So it looks like everybody done fucked up.
Well, and to be fair, I'm 100% sold on that. Yeah, it's 6. I'd love to see the citation that people are trying to use to state that she shouldn't have used her word Twitter. Because I'd like to actually see the law and read it myself. True. And since there are so many obscure laws in D.C., sometimes it's hard to figure out what's still current and what's not, and what's enforceable and what isn't.
Well, on the article that I read, in there it states that, you know, the protesters or people against Trump saw Sarah in the Red Hen and went inside to confront her. And according to members of Sarah Huckabee's dinner party, it was with the permission of the manager or owner. However, the manager or owner did not state in the article whether or not they did give permission. It's quite possible that they took it as when the manager and or owner came up to them and asked the party to leave, that was giving the protesters permission. Personally, I agree, you know, should have gotten rid of the protesters and not, you know, paying customers. But people have gotten in trouble because some places, you know, people will have like a work Twitter that has their work in their name and have gotten in trouble for tweeting inappropriate stuff on it and gotten fired because it was associated with that job.
Well, and once again, I said that comes down to individual policies and laws, and I would like to see the specific policy and how it's supposed to apply to executive administrative staff, and whether or not it's applicable. Because if it's only applicable to, like, say, the Department of Health and Safety, well, then Sarah Huckabee Sanders doesn't work for the Department of Health and Safety. So we need to know the specifics on this regulation that everybody's stating dictates she shouldn't have tweeted this in the way she did, is what I'm saying. Now, I do agree with you. The protesters should have been freaking arrested and thrown in bracelets.
Yeah, and there should be an active boycott against this restaurant if it's the proclivity of the owner to let people come in and harass the customers
based on political viewpoints. Yeah,
based on political. That's
Jim Crow again, except on politics instead of skin color. Because that's using social pressures to discriminate against a certain group of individuals and force them out of a particular establishment without serving.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And I hate saying it that way because it sounds like I'm push a whole victim mentality there, but I'm not. I think it's just that should not be tolerated, especially since we have laws specifically forbidding that kind of activity.
Right.
Yeah, because me having been a waitress, if I'd been a waitress there, I wouldn't have allowed it to happen, regardless of my political views. It's my job.
Yep.
That, you know, you're harassing the people that are about to give me a huge fucking tip, because I'm going to serve them with a smile, regardless of, you know, that, you know, I don't like the orange potato. I look at them and go, I'm sorry for this. Let me get rid of these people, and, you know, let me refill your drinks and shit like that.
Yeah, when it comes to how you conduct yourself in the place that you work, you leave everything at the door.
Yep. Religion, politics, and home issues.
And sports.
Sports can be taken to work. Depends on if you work at a sports bar or not.
Yeah, if you're a Yankee fan walking into a nest of Red Sox fans, that's, yeah, leave the sports at the door. Yeah. So essentially, you're obligated to be as non-controversial as possible. Why? Because you work there, and you have to uphold a fairly high level of professionalism. Why? Because that's the dollar you're working for, man. That is the way you keep your lights on. That is your livelihood. You don't shit where you eat.
Nope.
But that's not the way of the world right now, apparently.
Everybody seems to be eating where they shit, and hey, that's why you see all these shit-eating grins.
I like the way you put that, Six. Man,
you're welcome.
I've been missing you, man. It's nice to see you back in form.
It is.
It took me a few weeks to actually get the handle on you know, the pace, and get accustomed to the level of activity, the level of just what we were doing there. It's just, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in, and certainly it was a lot to recondition myself to actually do. And I'm not saying that I'm on the fast track here. Of course, it's going to be a long, hard road to get to where I would like to be. But I'm in much better shape than I was on the last day of last month. So, hey, I think
good.
I'm feeling good about it. So, anyhow.
So, yeah, I was looking at that this it says Washington, D.C. U.S. Supreme Court on Monday sent the case involving a Christian florist who declined to participate in a same-sex wedding back to the lower courts in the state of Washington to reconsider in light of the Supreme Court's recent masterpiece cake shop decision, keeping hope alive for the Christian grandmother who might face $1 million in legal fees. On June 4th, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Jack Phillips, evangelical Christian wedding baker in Colorado, who declined to custom design a wedding cake to celebrate a same-sex wedding. The court's ruling declined to answer the big free speech questions in the case, holding instead that because commissioners on the Colorado Civil Rights Commission called Phillips' mainstream Christian beliefs despicable during his official hearing, that the Colorado state government was manifesting hostility towards a specific religion in violation of the free exercise free clause in the Constitution's First Amendment. And based on that, so what they did was they told them to revisit. I guess what would that be, in an appellate court in Washington?
Yeah, it would be an appellate court.
Yeah, so
so they forced it back down to the appeals court.
Yeah, which is a really good thing, I think. That's a good symbol. So this kind of backs up the hen, the farting hen, or whatever the name of the place was. Refusing Sarah Huckabee Sanders or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, see, what screwed the pooch on that one in favor of the gay couple wanting the cake made is the fact that someone went up stating that the religious views were, stupid and stuff like that. They shouldn't have used that. They should have been more diplomatic about it and, stated, hey, you're open to the public, you need to serve the public, and all that, instead of getting down and dirty like a 5-year-old.
That's what I just read, was that the court, they were saying that the court had were exhibiting bias against Christianity by doing that. And so that was the base of them refusing to hear the case. Excuse me.
So I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's always been my understanding that any business has the right, it reserves the right to refuse service to anyone for essentially any reason.
That actually originally started due to safe and health reasons. No shirt, no shoes, no service. If you're causing an issue in that location, like starting fights, you're drunk, or you're just in a bad mood and stuff like that, and you're causing an issue, they can have the right to refuse, but they have to have a valid reason instead of just, oh, you're gay, I can't serve you.
But there's a big difference, Tara, between saying you're gay and I can't serve you, and you're gay and I won't make a wedding cake for you, but I'll still sell you other cakes. There is a big difference there. There is, because if a particular act directly violates your personal moral code, you as a religious individual or a spiritual individual should be able to maintain your own moral code. You can't enforce it on another person, but you should be able to maintain it within yourself. Now,
all right, I'll be right back. I'm coming into the stream on my laptop.
Not a problem.
All right, and I do want to point out that on Twitter, this guy named I saw it from this dude named Jack Pendergrass, which was a retweet. He put on Twitter a health report on that particular restaurant from April of this year, which they closed the store down for 48 hours because of rat infestation, among other problems with the food. Was at incorrect temperature, and so there was some major health issues. So maybe this whole thing was in her favor.
And here's another thing: is this? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a different establishment, but I saw something earlier that there was some. It was revealed that there was a sex offender on the staff
at the Red Hen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. I don't remember where I saw that, and I don't know how to corroborate that at this point in time. But if anybody heard the same thing and can throw a link my way, I'll be happy to post it in the chat.
Red Hen's conspiracy theories erupt after restaurant ejects Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
No, question. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was going to actually ask you guys if you've heard about this Occupy ICE movement that's been going on out here on the left coast of America.
talk about that, because I heard that, okay, because WikiLeaks released, the WikiLeaks released the fucking information on these people that Antifa provided. So they doxed a shitload of ICE workers and their families, putting all these people in danger.
Well, it's not just that. They have effectively blocked off the ICE office in Portland and temporarily shut it down.
Oh, wow.
They're trying to do the same thing in Tacoma and in Seattle. They are trying to do the same thing in LA and Berkeley. And it's actually the Democratic Socialists of America that are pushing this.
Wow.
And they're pushing for sanctuary. They're pushing for what they're calling freedom state policies, which are the next step beyond sanctuary cities, where illegal aliens are given almost everything that a normal citizen has as rights, including the ability to vote.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And these people, like I said, have already shut down the ICE facility in Portland, which had been pulling a lot of the illegals that were still in the frickin' court systems and in the state pens.
That is insanity.
Hey, Tara, I see what you just sent about the removal of Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I'm not sure that CFR 2635.702A is applicable here, because the example he gives is that an ATF agent pulled his badge out to try to stop. Sarah Sanders left the restaurant and then reported that the restaurant threw her out. It's a little different scenario. She wasn't trying to use her political clout to stop from being thrown out, or she was stating that this restaurant had thrown her out because of this action. So, I mean,
the one I have right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the one you just sent me. Exactly at the one you just sent me.
I just got that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not sure that this is the same type of scenario and that this would be applicable. Because what that regulation is about is in the action using your political authority or your position within the government to demand different treatment at a location. So if she had tried to force a reservation and said, I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders, you're going to give me one even though there's not any available, that would be an example of breaking this regulation. Getting thrown out of the restaurant and saying this restaurant did this thing to me, you got a slightly different scenario there. Now, effectively, it's going to cause that restaurant a lot of harm. And I think it's kind of a crappy thing to do, but I'm not sure it's going to actually fall under this statute.
So what would happen? I mean, who prosecutes this? If it's prosecutable?
Who got tossed out of a restaurant for dildoing what?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders got tossed out of a restaurant because protesters were making a scene.
That's funny.
And she tweeted about it, and some people are trying to claim that was an abuse of her power. And Tara just provided me with the link from the Hill about the thing, and the regulation they provided is the use of political authority or position in the government to demand special treatment from a facility or location or a public accommodation. Well, what she did is she left when they kicked her out, and then told the world about the fact that they kicked her out.
Well, it sounds more like it was a safety concern if you got protesters outside. I mean,
to be fair, man, they should have called the cops on the protesters. And me and Tara both agree on this. This whole thing was handled badly.
But I mean, dead bodies matter, most likely than not. So how dare they call the police? You know,
Actually, it was anti-tards. It was Antifa.
Okay, and it was the owner of the Red Hen.
Yep.
I just found, and this is from the Washington Post.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so just as bad. Yeah, they should have just shot the fucking kids in their testicular zone and called it a day.
I was saying they should have slapped the bracelets on them and given them a paddy wagon rough ride back downtown to the jail cell for processing.
Oh yes, let them be culturally appropriated by hardened criminals.
This is about Sarah Huckabee Sanders getting asked to leave the Red Hen restaurant in Virginia.
I think we're about to leave that because Six had brought up the whole ICE thing.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's a lot has a lot more gravity behind it.
Out here on the left coast,
about the anti-tards, Doxxing, and ICE agents.
It's not just doxing ICE agents. They've actually they've been shutting down ICE out here.
What? What do you mean?
Vetran?
Hang on. Responding to a moron on Twitter. Yes, so they shut down the Portland ICE department by blocking the entrance, exit, and garage and forcing people to not be able to get in and out of the building.
I'm familiar with that same tactic. Yeah, my environmentalist buddies, they did the same thing to KCBX over on East Side. You can do that to a degree, but you still gotta fucking move if they're getting to and fro to get to work, man.
Well, here's the deal. There's actually a federal law that states that by interfering with a federal officer in the execution of their job, you can actually be charged with a crime. Now, what they've done is they've taken their success in Portland and have moved to Tacoma, Seattle, Salem, Oregon, LA, and San Francisco. And they're push Freedom City laws, which include giving illegals the right to vote and giving them all the benefits
they don't have
of it.
The right to vote. They've got a set of privileges that would constitute general human rights and what have you, but they do not have the right to vote.
But that's not what these people are trying to push.
Get the fuck out.
What he's saying is that this whole freedom. What did you call it? Freedom what?
Freedom City movement.
So yeah, it's not a sanctuary city. It's now they bumped it up to a freedom city, which means there's more involved, right? There's more freedom. Go ahead.
They basically want to make it so that any illegal that steps foot in a freedom city is basically a citizen. They can't be kicked out because they came into the country illegally. They have all of the rights of a citizen. They can hold an ID. They can hold a job. They can vote.
Food
stamps. They can hold political office. They can receive welfare benefits.
Yeah. No, Mountain Man, we do have a solution in our... Let's have a solution. Are you familiar with J-dams?
I am.
Down to a square foot radius.
Yeah.
You know, I think Scoop's got a good idea going there because, yeah, if they're going to try and just blanket give assholes rights for just stepping into the city when they should not lawfully be there, no, and fucking no. We can't just accept the entire third world because we will bankrupt our entire country and become ruinous. It's not our fucking fault that the rest of the world is run by a bunch of goddamn coked up sodomites.
I don't disagree with you, man. I'm not saying I agree with these crazy people, okay? The idea that you can give anyone and everyone in the world the exact rights of a citizen in the United States and allow them to come here is a bit insane. I mean, it literally strips the ability to nations better. It causes irreparable damage to those countries. It causes irreparable damage to us by pushing down wages and overloading our systems here. It's insane, but people believe it'll work, and it's because they've been brainwashed.
Yeah, shit like this is what happened in my fucking old country in Sweden, and now look what's going on over there. Allahu Rape Bar, Allahu Shank Bar, Allah who throw the Molotov cocktail bar, Allah who raped the goat bar, Allah who run the whole fucking country bar, and Allah who put a fork in it and it's dead bar.
Don't forget the grenade attacks. There's been 147 grenade attacks in Sweden this year so far.
147 fucking grenade attacks, and we don't know this shit? We don't hear about this stuff on CNN?
Nope.
Not even on fucking Fox
you?
News?
Nope.
That's fucking that's crazy.
Yep.
You hear me?
That's big
I
fucking
can hear
news.
you. Yes, Scoob.
Scoob, you there, man?
Yeah, I can hear you, Scoob.
No, for some whatever reason, like the microphone icon, like, yeah, all right, whatever. I guess it's just my computer.
Yeah, we hear you, man, just fine. But yeah, there's been grenade attacks in Sweden. There's been a couple of attempted grenade attacks in Germany. Yeah.
You know, maybe that'll be the next set of stats I start keeping track of and making a Deadpool for. I already got one going for Chicago. Why the hell not the old country?
So, what's 100 nut shots up to on the Deadpool?
Let me go and look right here real quick, because I think we might have had a few more, because I know we broke the 250 marker for total fatalities, but I didn't look at much else. So give me 1 minute here.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, while we're taking this minute, I just want to say hey to Goatman, Sir Adamantine, Harlequin's Happy Hour. Let's see, who am I missing? American Celt, of course, Tara's brother, and Malachite, Accelerate, Hattie Our Body, and of course Costa Sock. Costa Sock says they don't care if they get nothing but free shit from the government and don't have a job because they have all day to protest. You think as well as endless, and everyone would get free shit. There's nothing for free.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's for free.
Yeah, man, they've been running these ICE protests for over a week now. I'm actually thinking about headed down to Portland tomorrow and videotaping some of it because they're doing a literal Occupy movement. They are camping out front of the building. Seriously.
That's insane. So
like
what
a
are they?
freaking
Are they trying to chain themselves to the doors, doing that kind of shit?
They've chained themselves to the doors. They're sleeping in their sleeping bags and lean-to shelters that they put up. They've got their signs. They're sleeping in front of the garage entrance and exits.
So maybe there's like a chain that's like they're all like attached to. So
I think only a couple of them chained themselves to the doors. Most of them are just sitting there refusing to move.
I was going to say it'd be horrible if they were all connected by a chain and just a live power line just happened to just fall on it.
To hit it? Hey now.
Just saying.
I have stats.
You have stats?
Yep.
I thought he said I has
Good
sex.
news. We have a total of 201 shot and killed, and a total of 255 overall homicides. We've got 13 nut shots.
Man, I was hoping we were up to 100 already.
You're vastly
I am
overestimating.
vastly
You're overestimating the skill level of these
gangbangers. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I was hoping for
God,
100.
they're ass shots in
They're
total
getting better.
so far.
They're getting better. They've discovered the 3 dot site and perhaps even the general concept behind them. But,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
baby steps.
I think 6 is right. Their accuracy has been improving because we've got a lot of dead bodies. We've got a bit more of our fun stats, but not by much. We've got 13 nut shots. We've got 53 ass shots. Wait, let me make sure I'm getting those right.
53 keys. I guess I lost that bet.
Goddamn Rompi.
Yeah, I bet a guy that there would be more testicle shots than took his shots by the beginning of July, and it looks like I'm going to lose that bet.
It amazes me that people are keeping track of that shit.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to give him a bottle of wine.
Is that the Chicago Police Department? That's that, you know?
It's a couple different agencies.
Yeah.
Mostly people just going through coroner's reports.
Man, that's just
Anyways, before the rhyme fight gets me, we've got 53 ass shots, left cheek, right up Main Street. I guess that's quite fitting for Pride Month, since everyone likes to take pride in sodomy, so lots of Sodom shots. Good for them.
Sodom in the bottom shots.
You're a sick man, sick.
I like that one, man. I like that one.
We've got 23 idiots who have shot themselves.
How much?
How do we have more morons that have shot themselves than morons that have had their testicles blown off? I mean, that makes
I don't know,
no
man.
sense,
I'm scratching my head at that.
Burnside? Is he romfying?
Oh, here's a good one for you. Guess what we just broke the 300 marker on?
What? Total drug deaths?
No.
Just tell us.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to romfy
Carjackings.
his
We've
kill.
officially had 301 carjackings as of today.
Jeez, man, that's horrible. 301 carjackings in 6 months. If it keeps up at that pace, man, you're going to have over 1,000 cars carjacked.
Hey, I mean, if companies want to provide carjacking insurance, that'd be awfully nice.
Man, they ain't going to provide that in Chicago. I bet they're going to start providing it in other cities, though. Chicago, it's too much of a sure thing.
Alamo Gulf Citizen
yeah.
asked if anybody got shot in the appendix. Any 2-for-1 deals out there? That was good too. Goatman wants to know: did anybody run themselves over with their own car? Any stats on that? All right,
Yeah.
major rectum shots. Major purely. I mean, they had to be just right in the rectum. How many shots did we get of those? Did we know that? At Main Street.
You know what? I probably have to dig through the coroner's reports myself, because they don't specify what area the butthole gets capped. They just know there's been caps in the ass.
All right, JTR, keep tuned. We'll get you updated on that though, for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to go through their sources, and I'll see if maybe there's a specially detailed coroner's report or something like that laying around.
Need to know.
If not, then I'll try and fumble with numbers and get you what the odds of being shot in the butthole are.
Gotta have those rectal stats, man. I'm just saying, you know, it ain't over till the rectal stats are counted.
Those are very important stats, man. That's part of what frightens me about Chicago. Knowing just where in the keister you're most likely to be hit is very important.
It's what frightens me about this fucking group.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to start doing some digging here and see if I can get some more details as far as shot placements.
No doubt.
Or maybe it's that all of those unknown factors are because someone took it up the rectal hole with hot lead.
Holy moly! And say hello, American Gadfly. I did Cream Stream with him Friday night. And he's got this great thing that's a great homage to Coast every Saturday. And when you're not listening to Chaos 120, I recommend you check out American Gadfly. He is awesome. Great channel. So just wanted to do that real quick while we got a time. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Are we done with the coming back to the The ice
Coming
deal.
back to the
Yeah.
So basically, it's just a repeat
Yeah,
of
that's about it for
Occupy.
the regular stats, man. Unless you want to know, like, overall dead bodies, but those are probably going to keep piling on, not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, so this Occupy ICE stuff is basically just Occupy Portland 2.0. And I'm actually kind of surprised it's not happening in the city of Eugene, Oregon as well. Because Eugene, Oregon, they actually had restaurants coming out to the Occupy locations and giving them free food to support the Occupy Eugene movement.
Dude.
Seriously. And they set up in a public empty lot when they set up. They got permission basically from the city. They took one of the city's vacant lots and they set their whole tent city up there. Now the problem was is in
that is
Portland.
some shit, dude.
In Portland, they cost over $20 million in damages when they were occupying the parks in downtown Portland. Between the feces that had to be cleaned up, the needles, the heroin ODs, the just all the damage. We're talking about torn up ground, damaged plants, damaged sidewalk, stolen city power because they were tapping into the Portland power grid through the light poles.
What was all this?
This was back with Occupy Wall Street. They did over $20 million in damage to the public city areas. And now we've got
hell.
now they're doing the same thing in front of the ice.
After themselves?
No, man, they had to send the brute squad through the area and run the people out of their tents. And then they had to send in freaking dump trucks and fork loaders to get all that shit out of there because people refused to leave. And now they're back at it in front of the ICE offices, which are only about a block away from where they tore up before.
Can't they just keep
Okay,
their
man,
vehicles
this is
in
some
low
bullshit,
gear
man.
and drive through them?
Nope, because you can't get to the building unless you hop the curb. You got to hop the curb to get to them.
Well, there are
Because
any,
Portland has got these giant sidewalks and these city verges and all this crazy stuff, man. It makes it look really pretty, but it gives a lot of room to do this kind of crazy crud.
So how's the topography there? Are there any rivers that run north of this?
The Willamette River, the Columbia River, and the Columbia River runs west and dumps into the ocean.
Would it be to divert that river? Because I recall there was one of the tasks of Hercules was to clear out this gigantic stables, and what he did was essentially diverted a river to flow right through it and to clean it all out. So I'm wondering if much the same concept can be done.
You'd kill
here.
millions of people if you tried. Because you'd end up flooding half of downtown Portland.
What's the demographic like there? What's the Democrat count? Because maybe the collateral damage isn't really that
80%.
big.
It's very high.
Okay.
80%.
All right. So maybe if you gave like a heads
I'd
up
say we
notice,
can take that as acceptable losses. If not, I have an alternative. It's more of a prototype, but oh boy, does it clear a room.
Are you talking like some sort of flechette 40mm grenade launcher, Burnside?
No, what I'm talking about is a experimental. Now this may sound comical, but this is something that seriously a lot of people have been tinkering around with, and I've tapped a couple people on the shoulders about it. A literal noxious gas grenade, like the raunchiest, wettest farts you could manage, but from a human, a walrus, an elephant, and a bear mashed together into one partially oversized tear gas canister.
Yeah, it sounded like the guy that was using the fake farts against his ex-wife.
Pretty much.
Burnside, have you heard of CS gas before?
Oh, I am very familiar with CS, Scoob. I've had CS go through my head, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7 times.
Poor bastard.
Ooh, what's that stuff do?
Grade tear gas.
Oh, the high grade stuff. Yeah, that stuff's fun to play with.
Yep, had to go into a CS chamber every few months to test my mask and make sure it works, and that meant I had to break the seal and reseal it.
Damn.
Which meant I always got a face full of CS.
Jesus. That's just wrong.
Standard military training.
Yeah.
Designation for the one that they have now. There's the gas that if you inhale it, it causes vertigo and uncontrollable vomiting and projectile diarrhea. I forget the designation for that one.
I'm unfamiliar with that one, Scoob. I wasn't a chem light, but that sounds really good for crowd control.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say they should be using that in deployment purposes.
That sounds like that noxious fart grenade I was talking about, because they've medically treated it, and the people really projectile vomit when they sniff that shit, dude.
I seen it. They tested it on. It was either a Chicago or a Detroit cop who had been a tough, seasoned cop, and they're like, "Here, smell this. See if you can withstand the smell." He's like, "Okay," and took one whiff, and he doubled over, and he was vomiting.
Dude.
Oh man! Oh man!
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly the shit I'm talking about. Yeah, douse a whole lot of those fucking yuppies with it.
You know, I could possibly get behind that. The problem is I'm not sure they'd be able to smell it anymore outside the smell of the funk that they're putting off.
There's a chemical in there. I think it's
unwashed.
Sorry.
They're unwashed, living on the sidewalk right now. Think about that.
Well, you know what we could do? If that doesn't work, we could always go and do it the old-fashioned way. Get the fire truck.
I have a better solution. We need to breed the Titanic jalapeno.
You know what I think? If I could take a guess what this is, I'm guessing that they've made an aerosol form of castor oil.
Could be.
The way that because for your insides to evacuate that quickly.
Yep, pretty much.
That's the only thing I know of. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, you know, there's that, and they have that other thing. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I forget the name of it. I've seen them mounted on Strikers and Humvees. The speaker that they turn the thing on, it looks like it's a flat speaker. It's actually an acoustic weapon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the ultra low frequency. The ultra low frequency.
Oh yeah, the one that makes you lose your bowels and shit. The brown note, as they call it. Yeah.
I like my idea of it.
Prove that there's no brown note.
Yeah, that's that. But supposedly they've got a crowd control thing that uses a frequency that makes you shit your drawers. They couldn't hit it.
If we don't have a mechanized brown note, I do know we have a mechanized microwave tank, which oh boy, if you want to cook a mofo.
Yeah, you know, they're more likely to use CS or something else before a microwave tank Burnside, because you can't just go cooking civilians on the street.
I want the giant mutant jalapeno.
Well, you can't also call yourself an anarchist if you don't clean up after yourself. I mean, fuck.
Six, I'm leaning more towards your giant jalapeno.
Shitting all over the place.
I want the giant jalapeno.
They're not even having the decency to clean themselves up.
What you do is you fill it up with dry ice. Yeah, you breed this giant jalapeno about 300, 400 feet long, and then you pack it up with dry ice. You hoist it up on top of one of these buildings, and wait for it to explode, showering the entire area with burning jalapeno.
Oh man, I think that would be a good
idea.
Choice.
Six.
That's
I think it needs
it's green technology. It's green technology. It's a winner on the West Coast.
Guys,
go ahead.
Here, so Irving just posted this. It's a Toronto Sun. U.S. border agents arrest Central American gang members entering via Canada.
Ooh.
So now not only do we have Now, not only do we have MS frickin' 13 running the border in Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico, we got them frickin' running the border in Montana and Michigan, man.
2 fences.
Yeah,
And a
Peruvian
giant
national
jalapeno.
and Mexican nationals were apprehended in June 23rd in Airvale, Vermont, by Customs and Border Protection. Record checks reveal that both subjects were previously deported. Mexican national admitted to being a member of the 18th Street Gang. Both individuals were processed and prosecuted for removal.
It's interesting because Vermont is such a short, that's such a short area that why wouldn't they pick like somewhere like Montana or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying?
Somebody wants us to sing for them. It's their birthday.
Oh, it is. It's Robert Como's birthday. Yeah, Robert Como, also of the Cunt Stream and of God, what is your name of your new thing that you do with Mocha Mine? The Incompetence.
Okay, so Cunt Stream guy's got a birthday. Who else has a birthday?
Actually, it was Vamp Candy's birthday earlier today too. I mean, it's still today. So, all right.
Van who? Van Helsing?
No, Vamp Candy.
Oh, Vamp Candy. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right. Well, they don't really do the best Lestat, but I could do something overtly obnoxious and offensive for the Cunt Stream.
Y'all ready?
All right.
A 1, and 2. A 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you. You fucking cunt.
Now open your fucking presents and be happy, you cunt streaming son of a bitch.
Giant jalapeno.
Jalapenos for all.
All right, now we gotta do one for Vamp Candy.
Jalapenos muy
Is
grandes.
she in the crowd?
I didn't see her, is she?
We'll just we can wish her one on. I did. I said it on Twitter, so you can just wish on Twitter.
City Freedom did 2 emojis: the sad face and the gun to the head.
Freedom, my brother. Well, all right. Well, so
Back to the topic, though. I mean, if we've got illegals running the border in Canada and we've got protesters on the left coast demanding freedom cities where these illegals are going to get all the rights of a citizen, I mean, this is like a concerted effort, guys. This isn't
This
happenstance.
sounds like a
bullshit,
fucking
is what it
drug
is.
cartel takeover. This sounds like a cartel takeover.
Sounds
It
like
is
an
a cartel
attempt at cartel
takeover.
takeover.
You've got a bunch of goddamn fucking yuppies in Jagoff sympathizing with the most cruel and unusual fucked up people, and then they want to give them rights over their own goddamn neighbors.
yeah, if you ever,
The goddamn cartels are giving all these yuppies free drugs for fighting for their freedoms. You know what I say? Put them in the concentration camps we have already. Let the hobos run free and let's put all these fuckers in those FEMA camps.
And Scooby posted the link to technology, the long-range acoustic hailing device. And yeah, that was what I was talking about, Scooby. It's an ultra-low frequency emitting device.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I think it can do actually high and low pitch frequencies. Because the one I seen, the guy was standing there and they start turning it up, and you see like, at first, he tries covering his ears, then he has to run away. He can't take it at all.
Yep.
I've seen when they use it in deployment purposes, and they turn the thing on. And if you can't get out of the way, you actually just fall to the ground. It can actually render you unconscious. So.
damn.
Well, the problem is you got to convince Mayor Wheeler, who is refusing to build roads and repair roads and wants to toll the roads to build more bike paths and more bridges that only mass transit and bikes can use.
Yeah, for the
And
People's
more
Republic
light rail.
of whatever.
For the People's Republic? Yep.
Exactly.
You got to convince him to use them, and I don't think he's going to spend the money to buy them, which is why we don't have them.
You know, I'm looking at it like this. We either have within the next, to get this shit tied up before the 2020 with them, we have to get them with it, a complete minority in Congress and in the Senate. We have to really vote out these Republicans that are not playing ball.
Yep,
And-
damn straight, man. We gotta announce that at more. We gotta have a whole fucking list of these jagoffs and
In
say,
other words,
you ain't MAGA, get
vote
the
out
fuck
all incumbents. Right?
And the problem, yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, if we have like an incumbent in there and he's
actually playing ball. Yeah,
yeah, leave them in.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to get rid of like somebody who's been in there
No.
for 20 years and has been fighting, and then we put in somebody who doesn't. So.
Yeah. I got
But-
you know what? I got a feeling, man, that Trey Gowdy, because of all this fucking FBI shit, I think he's gonna stay. I think he's gonna rescind his retirement. Just a guess.
I don't
wanted to
think
talk
he
to you
is,
guys.
man. I think he's done.
No.
I'm sad about it, but I think he's done.
Well, they
So
chased
what's up,
Noonians. They chased Noonians out.
Yep.
What was I going to say to you? When you guys were talking about, when I first hopped in, when I was a little late earlier, when you were talking about the press secretary, Sarah Sanders.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Did you hear about? I forget what woman it was. They're all women too, by the way, that they're going after these feminists. They went after I forget her name. She was at something in Florida, and it was the premiere of like a documentary about Mr. Rogers, and they like went up and were men bigger than me screaming in her face.
Yeah, Attorney General
filming
of
it.
Florida. Yeah, she's beautiful, beautiful blonde. I know you're talking about.
Yelling at her, and Burnside, I don't know if you heard, but not affiliated with anyone, tagged me. I didn't know it. The guy who doxed all these ICE agents is a professor in Brooklyn, and he's a fucking communist.
Yeah, I saw that dude.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Her name's Pam Bondi.
Which commie? Pam Bondi?
No, Pam Bondi. No, that she's the Attorney General of Florida. The one that he was talking about was getting harassed.
So,
Yeah.
which commie was the one that doxed the ICE agents, though?
Yeah.
My Democrat channel, I went and I was looking because Perseus USA, he's a journalist, and he was asking me about it, and I dug around, and you know, a journalist to journalist, as a courtesy, I threw him every link I could find, because I'm not going to be able to write about this, and this guy's got a passion for it, he's young. So I'm like, yeah, of course. So I found a whole bunch of stuff, but it's in my main channel, in my Discord, and if you look, this guy's a real winner. And he's like gone that extra mile above and beyond. Like he's really went out of his way.
What's up, kiddos?
What's happening, brother?
Yeah, so
Dude.
I think this stuff going on in Canada, plus all this Freedom City stuff in the West Coast, is all linked together, man.
Yeah, this is their last push, because I hate saying this. I really think that these lunatics are going to try to push for a civil war if they don't win, which they're not going to win in the 2018.
Well,
This is
did you
their
guys
endgame.
finish this article?
I didn't finish it all the way through. Who did?
Okay, I'll give you the gist of it. These guys were deported twice from the U.S.,
Yeah.
then made their way to Canada, where we don't ask for visas for people who come from Mexico, and then made their way back, not because they're MS-13 members, because they're MS-13 rival gang members.
Yeah, they're 18th Street Gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I did cover.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So yeah, he's right. They basically came back to go back to war with MS-13 in the streets.
Yeah.
They wanted to go back to Los Angeles and try to topple MS-13. So basically, we've got rival cartels running the borders and fighting drug wars in our streets.
So, and that was the Vermont.
Yeah, that was the group
state
that
line.
came in through Vermont.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Or they were found in Vermont.
Well, it says they ran
could
the
have come
border
through
in
Roxham
Vermont.
Road. Yeah. I don't know how sure they are of any of this right now.
Well, you know, I mean, as sure as you can ever be about somebody running a border illegally. I mean, you can never know 100% unless you see them doing it. 'Cause they could tell you, oh, I came in over there, when they really came in, 6 miles back.
Yeah.
I can't get a mileage on exactly how wide the border is. I mean, it's a really...
Between Canada and the U.S., it's insane.
No, I'm talking about Vermont.
Vermont's mileage?
Yeah, because, I mean, it's like got to be under 50 miles.
Oh, God, I see this guy. Yeah, and he's wearing Google glasses and a fucking bunny suit in his gosh darn pictures. Thanks for bringing this up, Scoob. I'm gonna have to push this guy.
Are you talking about the commie, the one that doxed that doxed all the ICE guys, man, that provided the majority of the info? Yeah, that's just it's like WikiLeaks is a fucking, it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time.
Well, it's one thing to release secrets that your government doesn't want you to know that are actually hurting the population.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing to release the names of agents who are then going to have their families threatened and killed because they're trying to enforce laws.
Right, because they're just doing their jobs, man. These are just fucking, these are guys like you and me, man. They're going to their work every day, and now, man, there's a fucking target on their back. There's a target on their family's back. There's a target on their children's back. There's a target on their grandmother's back. It's fucked up.
Yeah, Julian Assange called it wrong this time.
Yeah, he did. Because it's like I used to, hold him in somewhat respectable esteem, and that was just a fuck call. I don't understand it. It's almost like he wants to stay in fucking in that embassy in London. Was that Ecuador? I can't remember.
It's the Ecuador Embassy in London, yeah.
This is just a really fun place to live.
Well, man, this is part of my whole beef with the whole Julian Assange thing from the beginning. I understand that some of the info he's released really needed to be released, but there were other ways to do it than just blasting it out to the public. He never even talked about trying to go through the Inspector General or whistleblower programs in D.C. All of them are designed to allow you to report this kind of government and do it legitimately without getting yourself in trouble.
Have you guys heard of this Occupy ICE thing in Portland?
That's what we were talking about, Irving. It's all up and down the West Coast. Portland, they shut down the ICE center. They're trying to do it in Tacoma. They're trying to do it in Seattle. They're trying to do it in LA. They're trying to do it in San Francisco. It was why when you sent us that article, we were like, it's a concerted effort from both sides because those 18th Street Gang guys are running the borders over in Vermont and New Hampshire. And then we got crazy people out here in Portland shutting down the ICE centers.
The thing is, I have this unconfirmed that ICE agents and police inside the building then began firing tear gas towards the entrance and into the street.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. I can double check my local news and maybe give an update on it in the morning.
There's the name of the communist. It's in the chat.
Yeah, he's got a really bizarre page, guys, and he just seems to be all sorts of crazy in the head.
Yeah, Sam Levine.
Yeah.
Lavigme, like Avril Lavigne.
I'm kind of surprised I'm not blocked by him, considering I went out and, took on that Castro supporting communist at Harvard and everything a few months back. He blocked me out, and I figured most of the other big commies on the East Coast would have blocked me as well.
If anything, the ones in New York will start following you.
Just to see what I'm doing?
Well, what I did was, I went and sent that Trump lying video to Black Lives Matter. And I took down the URLs of everyone who immediately I looked, and sure enough, about 3 or 4 radicals from Black Lives Matter went and followed me and subscribed to me. I went and sent one to them, and I went and sent the same video to #resist, and sure enough, another 3 or 4 lunatics went and followed me. I figured this is the best way to weed out the most extreme. As I actually want a confrontation with these fucking people, I have no problem painting a bullseye on myself and standing there with a flare gun, So, fuck them. It's the thing, the most radical ones around here will actually, the prissy pearl clutchers will block you, but the ones who are screaming fake anarchists at Burnside, those are the ones that they want to know everything about you. Sick fucking people, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Those
put
are the ones that actually frighten me the most, Scoob.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he's built out of 110% soy.
I call him Moby. He looks just like him.
Yeah, he looks like Moby's like anemic brother.
His anemic soy-fueled brother.
Exactly. Because you know what keeps you from being anemic? Red fucking meat. That's what it is. Red meat.
That protein. Protein keeps you from being anemic.
You gotta have it. No soy.
I don't know. To me, that's the most cowardly shit to do.
Yeah,
and like I said, I understand, going after government agents that are abusing the laws and things like that. But just broadcasting out a bunch of ICE agents' names and home addresses, I mean, that's just vile. That'd be like us going and finding all the SJWs that we disagree with's real names and locations and bank accounts and jobs, and blurting it out, and having hordes of people show up to try to harm them.
Well,
it's disturbing to do that.
What I was going to do now, this is why I'm glad we're talking about this, is listen and look. If you guys can, I need a camera, and I need one of those cheap Android Samsung phones. I can get one of those things for $100, and I can get a GoPro for about $200. I need $300. I am about 20 minutes to a half hour away from this asshole. I will make his life hell. As a journalist, I'm allowed to show up and ask him questions. I'll show up at his Starbucks. I'll show up at his library. I'll show up at his campus. I'll show up everywhere. His friends will start shunning him. Workers will start shunning him. He won't be able to go anywhere because he'll have a cloud about him. Guy's life hell. Plus, I'll just start going to all the different motorcycle clubs around here. And I'll just say, yeah, guys, yeah, did you hear about this? Yeah, here's this asshole. Check him out. A lot of bikers do not watch YouTube and don't follow this shit. So they're going to be completely clueless.
So what you're telling me, Scoob, is I should go talk to my local Freedom Riders and Gypsy Jokers.
Exactly. Tell every angel that you see. Anyone who's listening over here in New York, go into Brooklyn, tell the Chinglings. Go tell the Chosen Souls. The Untouchables.
Scooby, do you have a Streamlabs?
No, I need a better computer. This computer, I got like one of those $200 Home Shopping Network computers.
Right. Do you have a PayPal so I can put that in the info?
Yeah, I believe I do. It's just I think like Scooby331.
Okay, so just if you want to donate to Scooby, just I recommend you getting in touch with him through Twitter. At this point, you know.
Oh, Gab. My Twitter is still.
Okay, yeah, go through his Gab account. All right, perfect. I've got that.
It's one of the best ways to get a hold of this guy.
Yeah.
I
Discord's
get my shit together.
Discord's good too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, if any of you guys listening, you could hit me up through Prostate's Discord. I don't usually give out my Discord just because I had a problem with leftists already. I had to throw a bunch of them out, so they have to pitch out the right wingers too much. The fanatical ones, they tend to leave of their own accord because I guess I'm too tolerant. But yeah, seriously, any way you guys can get in touch with me. Anything you hear about going on here in New York, that any evil shit like this, any SJW shit, I will show up and make their life hell. I got no problem going to Central Booking. They got good sandwiches. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, Scoob, I had that crazy guy attack me on your channel. I was actually kind of surprised. Like almost a year ago now.
Oh! The guys in my chat. Yeah, actually, they left because of you.
Yep.
Nice.
I said, well, look, if you can't take it, if you can't take the heat. Well, you know, that's part of the reason I didn't hop in right away. Was I was watching you handle them, and I said no, I'm not.
They kept throwing up logical fallacies, trying to say that this and that and the other was true, and it obviously wasn't. You know. And when they turned around and tried to call me a race traitor, I just laughed at them. I'm like, how can I betray something I can't swear allegiance to?
Thank you for putting it that way. I try to tell people all the time, race politics might as well just. I tell people, oh, you're into race politics, so you're into me politics.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about me. That's all it is. It's narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's just like, it's not about who you are; it's what you are. Right? It's about that. That's what identity politics is exactly. These people. It's like I was looking. You know, they were talking about. As just a little quick sidestep about Chris Hardwick, the guy that did the Talking Dead. You know, getting taken down because of the Me Too shit, and they brought up the Kevin Spacey. You know, when he got called out, you know, for raping that dude, you know, he said, well, his only answer was, well, I'm living my life now as a gay man, as like, you know, implying that gay men weren't, you know, capable of, you know, committing rape because they're gay, right? Which doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. But the actor that's accusing him of it, all right, that dude, that's all he does is play flamers, man. You know, because that's who he is to himself, you know.
Michael Hatfield.
Who?
Michael Hatfield just said, "Hey, I'm in the chat." So.
Oh, hey, Michael. Yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of insane nonsense to me, man.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's just like the identity politics has gotten to where people aren't people anymore. They're their disability, they're their color, they're their sexual preference, you know, they're their trans state, whatever the fuck, you know. I'm not a person. I am
gendered, trans-dimensional brony lords and Pegasus or other kin.
Basically. So, but getting back, so Scoob.
Just reminded me of something really quick. I don't want to segue, but this is crucial, and you're all going to not enjoy it, but because I did tell them I'm not a bastard. I did let them know what was going on. You know, they could what they did with the information is, you know, their own business. But check this out. I went yesterday. I think I told you this. I went to my sister-in-law's for a brunch, and I think I've told you already now, the difference between myself as a progressive liberal and other progressive liberals is literally left and right leanings. And these people are they're hardcore true leftists. These are people who supported Bernie, and when he folded, they supported Hillary because Republicans cannot have any power. That's just how they are.
Right.
These are the ones I told you that speech that I did and said the Democratic Party needs to be declared a terrorist organization was because I sat at a table with these people and heard their political views, and it was atrocious. These were the young Democrats. So, and I'm listening to the conversations, and I think I told Burnside about it, and they were all talking about how a few of them had just came back from Africa. Like one of them was in Tanzania.
Yeah, you told me that yesterday. Yeah, that's the conversation we had.
And the sister, my sister-in-law's her sister-in-law, and her husband, who's a screenwriter for some, I think NBC. They're going to Africa for like 6 weeks, and they told me their itinerary. So I hear where they're going, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna spend like a few weeks in Cape Town." I'm like, huh? One of the girls that's not actually nice to me out of this crew over to the side, and I told her, I said, "Are you aware what's going on in South Africa?" She goes, "No, what's going on?" I said, "Change the national anthem to kill all of the white man, shoot him with a machine gun as he runs away."
Pretty much. I mean, they've allowed any of the black nationalists to confiscate the lands of white landowners. So yeah,
really, they changed the national anthem to that.
I know.
I'm dead serious. Look it up.
Yeah,
I know.
Shoot the ball with the machine gun as they run away. That's the name of the song.
Did they themselves want war declared upon them? Because I guarantee if they actually do shit like that, the UN's gonna fucking start dropping operators left and right at them. Go, okay, genocide.
No, they
well, not during an election year.
Burnside. Burnside.
So get this.
Burnside. So, guys, all over Africa, there have been white genocides. We're talking Congo. We're talking Zaire. We're talking almost any African country that is third world that isn't Muslim has already had white genocides.
Mm-hmm.
There are Nairobi is now actually trying to get white people to come back because they took all the farmland away from them, and then their entire society collapsed.
Right, because
they did not. They're trying to get.
They didn't know how to rotate their crops or any of that kind of shit.
Yeah,
the kind of shit you need to know.
Now they're trying to get white farmers to come back, and they won't. A group of white farmers were publicly executed in the streets by black militias.
Amazing.
Because of skin color differences. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this is going on, man. The whole thing that's going on in Africa is exactly what the Black Lives Matter movement wants to do here in the United States for the most part. It's part of the reason why that whole movement is insane. It was part of what the Black Panther movement of the 70s was about. Yeah,
it's just a repackaged, BLM is now a repackaged version of the old Black Panther movement. Whereas, Revolution...
Yep. Yeah, it's just refurbished and re-radicalized and put under Bob Avakian's control.
Yeah, just, they burned their dashikis, and traded them for hoodies.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So... it kind of sucks because I just finished watching season 2 of Luke Cage. Which was
and I mean, I enjoyed the series Luke Cage, the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet.
It's more like The Wire. It's actually pretty good.
The second season is probably better than the first season in about every way.
Yeah.
Good to know. I actually enjoyed the first season.
And the first season was enjoyable, right? So yeah, exactly.
So that means I'll probably enjoy the second season of Luke Cage even more. Yep. But I'm hoping they try to keep it, a bit more clear to form and a lot less identity politics, because the Luke Cage books weren't about identity.
Well, yeah, dude, but that, there's some of it in there, but it's not like shoved up your fucking, in your face.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course there's a little bit, but it was more about the conditions that city held.
Yeah.
And why they needed to reform what they had to make it more amenable and allow them to prosper, as opposed to we need to hate the white man. And so I can kind of get behind that. You know, you do have to create family. You do have to have safety in your neighborhoods and not have excess crime.
Yeah.
In order to prosper. You know, that's just true.
Right. And that's kind of the focus of the second season. Is like because the main external danger is a rival black gang, is the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Which is just really well done. The main guy that plays the lead baddie on that is the character's name is Bushmaster, and the dude did a fucking excellent job.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best villains in the MCU thus far. And
he maintained his character through the whole. I mean, that Jamaican brogue, and you're talking like that, man. You know, he had it perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, it's worth watching. So, but
definitely gonna have to sit down and watch it then.
Exactly. And everybody from the first season gets their comeuppance. That didn't. Good. Exactly.
Yeah, sounds like a great watch. Then I'm gonna have to sit down and maybe binge watch it in a week or so. You know, sit down on a Monday and Tuesday and just binge watch it.
Hey, you binge watched the entire second season already?
And they make a character that has received a lot of criticism. Won't say who it is. They made this character credible.
Really?
Yeah.
They took an incredulous character and made him credible? Ooh.
Well, I wouldn't say incredulous. That's a bit harsh, but you just have to watch it. No more. That's as close to a spoiler as I'm going to get.
Nice.
Oh, really quick. Two things. One, Tara, Death Harukin has a question for you. And your brother, Kelt, get this. He wrote Luke Cage should face it off with Nick
Cage.
Where Nicolas Cage got that last name from the Luke Cage character. Nicolas Cage...
I'm so surprised y'all know that. That's killer.
The reason I know that Nicolas Cage's last name is actually Coppola. He's Francis Ford Coppola's godson. Talia Shire is his aunt, and his father was Carmine Coppola. He's the guy who did The Earth is Burning, which is the Godfather waltz.
Right, and he was real tight with Frank Capra of the 40s. So, yeah.
That sounds like a lot of movies I got to catch up to.
A lot of royalty. Yeah, he's royalty, man. I the Coppola family, definitely.
Yeah, but he got that name, Luke Cage, because he took Cage from Luke Cage. That's where he got it from. He is a huge comic book nerd.
Yep. He's got a action. I can't remember which one it is, but the one with
Action Comics #1.
Yeah.
No, actually, we all knew he owned it, and then later we heard there was a private sale for $2 million, but no one knew who it was. But we think it's his because he was having all that tax trouble at the time, so he might not have it anymore.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why Nick Cage did. That is actually one of his favorites. However, Ghost Rider 2.
That was basically a lot of what that was contractual obligation.
I really wish they would have had a better screenwriter for the Ghost Rider movies. I really wish they did.
It would have been nice if they had.
Ghost Rider was one of the books that I grew up with.
Oh, me too.
Guys,
only thing that was the second Ghost Rider, the only saving grace to it was Idris Elba.
So, guys, I just posted an image in the general. It just came across my Twitter feed. I figured y'all would all get a laugh out of it. I'm gonna post it to the chat.
What'd you get?
Well. Take a look.
Tag me.
It's in the general room here.
Oh. I am not even. I'm in Scooby's fucking Discord.
I like that.
Yeah, I was looking at that dickwad. I was.
Ah.
Yeah, I was. Immigrants are like sperm. Millions get in and only one works.
Nice.
That's horrible.
Like I said, that just came across my Twitter, guys.
That's awesome. Dude. Yeah.
Member of the immigrant community, I have no opinion.
Okay.
So, since we're talking about the MCU, this last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not bad. It's probably
Really?
it's
The
probably
last
really.
one was pretty sucky.
it's probably the best season they've had since like season 2.
Yeah. It was
I
good.
think I'm like 2 or 3 seasons behind. Where I left off was with the Darkhold, and they just brought in that that big Australian model that played the android.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're that was season 4.
That's season 4, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on season 1. I can't get past it.
You need to get to the later parts of season 1. It gets better.
Chloe Bennett. I cannot fucking stand Chloe Bennett. I'm sorry.
She's kind of I don't know what's wrong with her. She has this nasty self-righteousness that is.
Are you talking about her, the actress, or her as the character?
I don't know.
She's not likable.
She is uncompromisingly self-righteous.
Now let me ask you this: does she look Chinese?
Yeah, she looks Chinese-ish.
She's half. I think she's half Korean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinese. Her father's from Beijing.
Oh, okay.
If you look up, I think it's Chloe Wang or Chloe Wu, and it's her, and she's China's version of Britney Spears.
Yeah, and she's big in Korea too. She started as a K-pop star, and then the Chinese loved it and they were eating it up, so they just said, "Fuck it, we'll do you over there." And then she's from Chicago, so she's everything she learns Chinese and Korean is all phonetically learned. She can't speak a lick of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of common.
The thing is, she's not an ugly woman, but not physically ugly, but her personality just kills it for me.
Yeah, I don't like her character because she gets in this. She's she's judgmental to a fault of any other character, and it's like, really, come on. No nuance there, really. Come on. Nuance. Embrace it.
She strikes me as one of those
she is
why we had actually an acronym for it in college. It was WDIS, which was Why Did I Sleep With You? She's one of those why did I sleep with you girls.
Oh.
Like you regret it for the rest of your life. Like every time you see her, like part of your soul dies because you're like, oh no, she's gonna talk to me. It's one of them. Like you regret it, just like oh god, because it's like you open Pandora's box. Like every
rigid
time
is a
this woman
way.
sees you.
Is a way I would describe her. Rigid.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they knows you. I know you. I know how you really are.
Wow.
The character that she plays is one of these types that will die on a hill.
Yeah, her character is very fucking got a stick up her ass. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's just it though. She's not playing a character. She's just playing Chloe, but calling herself Sky or whatever the fucking name is.
I can see that too.
It really doesn't matter what hill it is. you look at Agents of Shield, and all you see is a bunch of hills with a bunch of dead, with a bunch of this dead chick just like strewn about. There's.
Good night, Freedom.
Night, Freedom.
Freedom.
I will say
she will die on every hill she climbs upon.
Hey, dude,
without much.
Yeah. I was gonna.
Without much discrimination. Yeah.
What did you think about that fucking fat dude that could play the fuck out of the guitar? Both of those blues dudes, man, and Luke Cage was fucking. They were fucking excellent. Yeah. I mean, I was like, God damn, I've got hope. You know.
Hey, which Marley kid is that at near the end of the season? If that's Ziggy Marley, damn, he let himself go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but you know, I wasn't as impressed by that the reggae or I did like the KRS One.
Maybe that was one of his little brothers.
Maybe.
So, even if, damn. Let himself go.
There was one acoustic number that I really thought was good. Like, you know, she's gonna leave you. You know, that was like, dude, those lyrics were great. But the blues was what blew my fucking mind, man.
For those in the chat, I want you to have this mental image in your head. Think of a fat Bob Marley.
Yeah, but he was overweight. The Marley with dreadlocks, kind of graying.
I got to find out which one it is, because if that's
Reefer gives you the munchies, man.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah.
but the dude, the fat dude that sang "The Thrill Is Gone," I mean, BB King would be proud of this dude. His name is Christone Kingfish Ingram, and the other dude's name was Gary Clark II. And look, both of them. If you love blues, if you love good gut, I mean, from the bottom of your guts, balls blues, that was really, really excellent shit, in my opinion.
Hey guys,
the people I never got to see was BB King and John Lee Hooker. Jesus. Never got to see him.
I saw Johnny Winter.
Guys.
Yo.
Guys.
Yes, sir.
So I just saw a post by Jay Skello, and here's what it is. This is critical week as we again take the direct action at the United Nations to defend the persecution of Christians. Sign the urgent petition we desperately need to voice today.
You mean Jay Sekulow?
Sorry, Jay Sekulow, yeah.
Yes.
And he is pushing another petition to protect the Coptic Christians and the other Christians in the Middle East right now. To take
I
it
will
back
sign
forward
that.
to the UN.
I'll see if I can get a few people to sign that. Could you DM that to me?
Spell his name.
JaySekulow.
Send that to me via Twitter or Discord.
Yeah. I'm going to send it via Discord to you guys real quick.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Stephen Marley. That's Ziggy's little brother.
Gotcha.
And
hey, Irv, what's this picture you want to put up here?
There.
I was taking a look at it. It looks like a bunch of garbage cans having a standoff with a building.
It is, actually. You look, that's Antifa colors on forged shields. Somebody went out of the way to make, like, frontline, what's the word? Murmillo shields.
Okay.
All right, let me take a look at
an
this.
ice building.
Oh, yeah, yep, that looks like the Portland one. And those are definitely Roman tower shields. Yep.
Yeah, I'd fire tear gas at that. Of course I would.
God, if I was 10 years younger and still had my back.
You know, I'm about to go down there either Wednesday and see what kind of footage I can get and maybe expose this for the BS it is.
Oh, I was once again,
all this
at least
crap.
8 other guys and make sure you're matching shields.
Dude, I've got Mr. I Speak Loudly in the event that things get bad, but I'm probably going to try to not engage as best I can. Just do like try to get the leader of this craziness to actually give me an interview. And I'll keep it polite, I'll keep it civil, and then I'll come back and make sure I broadcast it all the fuck over the internet.
You got something? Maybe do some reconnaissance before you go right up in there.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
maybe-
man. I can drive past a few times. There are some streets near here where I can kind of cruise past and watch, make sure nothing crazy is going to happen.
Another thing that might be a smart idea is just to get one of those little toy drones and then just get some recon footage overhead.
Maybe, man.
But you could get a fucking hang glider too, and you can go over the place. I mean, there's all sorts of shit to do. But it's funds and time is what he has to work with. And
yeah. And so I've got a battery pack, I've got a cable, and I've got a cell phone. You know, I can definitely manage that, but I can't necessarily manage a hang glider, Scoob.
right, that was my point. I'm saying even a drone on such short notice is a bit sometimes to conjure up. But
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
The image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all check this out. So
Yeah,
those are forged
you
shields. You said those are.
They're probably just hammered sheet steel from the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then painted.
Oh, sure. But they're pretty well constructed and all look identical. So that's like somebody went out of their way to make, what is that? 2, 4. I got 6 in the picture.
Yeah, it's like feudal.
That's no easy task.
the original.
What are those holes like?
Well, those are actually, it looks like those are actually deflections there. Yeah, those are deflectors, not holes.
Okay.
They are designed specifically to deflect like batons or gas grenades or things of that nature. Keep them from knocking the shit
down and the knobs hook it.
Yeah.
What pictures are, what are you guys looking at?
We're looking at the picture Irving Twin put in the general section on.
All right, and I just put it in the chat. 6.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's a direct link to a picture, to a photograph.
Now I'm here and it's winding down, and
Well, I doubt it's going to actually wind down because they're still the ICE agents haven't left the city and they're not wanting to wind it down until they leave. They're trying to force Portland to become a freedom city, Irving. So I doubt it'll wind all the way down. I think they're going to continue to protest.
So do you think that, all right, so this deal with with the WikiLeaks is designed to help them get leverage and keep them shut down?
I think it really is. I really do think it is.
Yeah, because it's like what you said. It makes so much sense. All this shit happening all at the same time is not accidental. That I would hope that WikiLeaks would not be in concert with these motherfuckers. But then again, they've been in concert with other dicks. So,
And I'm not 100% sure that WikiLeaks is actually working with them. I think WikiLeaks is just kind of amoral in the way that they just publish everything they get, no matter what.
Like you're basically like a troll,
Yeah, but basically, sending this kind of information to WikiLeaks, knowing that's exactly what they're going to do with it, that is the dishonest and disreputable decision. Because you then know they're going to turn around and publish it, and it's going to cause harm to these people and harm to these people's families that aren't even involved. Because, I mean, once you know a person's address, you can find out who their family are just by watching.
The one thing that pisses me off about a lot of this damn nonsense is I used to be a part of Anonymous and take pity on a couple of these groups and shit, and as far as like combat and shit like that, these assholes are using the kind of shit I've been saying for people to use defensively, offensively. It's fucking pissing me off.
Well, man, anything that can be used defensively can be used offensively.
Yeah. And that's just a good rule of thumb is to, I just don't dox. I don't think it's good. I can't.
I second that, man. That's when but like when I used to be a part of Anon, that's one thing I told them was like, you guys are going to keep getting yourselves incarcerated if you keep doing this shit.
Yeah, and they did.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a whole crop of them, man, that got laid up. They should be out fairly soon, and I hope the fuck they're not fucking commies.
A lot of them are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
See, as a journalist.
Well, yeah, and everybody knows that doxing is and I'm against it and all that shit. But it's like, I just can't stress enough, I just don't, even if you use it as leverage, it's still fucking, it's tainted, it's ill-gotten, man. You can't be on the moral high ground and do that shit.
Nope.
You can't claim the moral high ground at all if you dox anybody. And
as a journalist, my personal belief on doxing is this: you do not go after a person's place of residency. You do not involve their family. You have done something, and it does affect the general public as a whole. The community has the right to hold you to culpability. Been said, some of the things that they do, like people, if you are hiding your identity anonymously, like each of us is doing, for example, that specifically is because obviously we want our identities kept secret because of safety reasons. Now, not in good conscience take anyone who has a hidden identity and put their stuff out there. There is no point in that. I can, however, hold you specifically to account and go after you on your screen name. However, if someone has committed a crime and they are not using identity, I have no problem. Again, you cannot, because there are other people involved that live in the house with them, so you cannot do that. But plastering a person's name and likeness on a picture, on a newspaper, let's say, if they're running a child sex ring, or if they're running a heroin smuggling operation, they need to be brought to public scrutiny. Some bullshit like Twitter, that's absurd. Don't dox people for nonsense.
But that's the society we live in today, man. It's people doxing people over the fact that they disagree with them.
Exactly, over just a political disagreement. Which back in, when I was a kid, I remember asking my dad who he voted for in an election, in a presidential election, and he told me it was none of my business. Yep. And he sat me down and explained to me. And basically it was a lecture about how important integrity was and how what other people's opinions, shouldn't shape
shouldn't shape how you decide to vote.
Exactly. A, and B, to research everybody that you want to vote for. Read as much as you can about them. So, and I still practice that today. He voted for Pro, so just yeah.
To be fair, I think Perot wasn't a bad candidate. I just don't think he had a chance in hell of winning.
Yeah, it just shouldn't have. It split the Republicans. We know that stuff. Now
everyone knows, but it was part of the thing. God, let me see. It was Perot. It was Bush, right?
Perot was Bush Sr. on his re-election, and Clinton.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember when Bush was first running, my father, if I remember, I'm not sure. Now, I wish the man was alive for me to ask him, but no point in wishing. If I'm not mistaken, I think he might have abstained from the top tier. I think he voted for Perot, like when Bush was running for re-election. I remember when Bush first was running, I was very little. So I remember this is how I learned what the definition was. Because I asked my older brother, I go, Gianni, what does spook mean? He goes, and he explained it to me. I'm like, no, not that. not that definition. The old man was yelling that there's going to be a spook in the White House. So then my brother explained to me that Bush was CIA. He refused to vote for him.
Wow.
Would not vote for Bush. Wouldn't vote for him.
Because he was a Fed?
Yeah, because he was CIA. He would not vote for Bush.
Right.
God, I mean, I have a lot of trouble dealing with any of these alphabet people in high power.
Yeah, I feel you, man. You know, it's well, you know, that brings up a very interesting thing. I was reading earlier, one of my favorite directors is David Lynch. He's got a masterpiece out there called Blue Velvet, Eraserhead. You know, yeah, there's some good movies.
Highway, yeah. I have the whole collection. Yeah, I got the Lynch collection in the living room.
Lost Highway, exactly, and Mulholland Drive. You know, great shit. And of course the Twin Peaks, and especially last year's show. Oh my God! But all right, so he said that Trump could go down as one of the greatest presidents in history, and I found that you know, because he's like Hollywood. He's Hollywood elite. People, I mean, all these like highfalutin actors broke their backs to get in last year's Twin Peaks last season or whatever the fuck it is, right? And so, and what he was saying is that, you know, I'm not really a political person. This is a direct quote, but I really like the freedom to do what you want to do. Trump could go down as one of the greatest presidents in history because he has disrupted the thing so much. No one is able to counter this guy in an intelligent way. And,
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Our so-called leaders, you know, take the country forward. Can't take the country forward and can't get anything done. And like children, they are. I guess I'm not sure exactly. But Trump has shown us all.
So guys, I did want to bring up something real quick. Irving was talking about the Portland ICE protest dying down. I'm actually on OregonLive.com, which is the Oregonians' website. That's the big newspaper for Oregon. As of noon today, protesters are literally sleeping outside on the sidewalks.
That's noon, you said?
As of noon today, and they are still blocking the building. ICE agents have slipped inside on several occasions, but the building is still under siege.
Why don't they just pour epoxy on them while they're asleep on the sidewalk?
You got to convince Mayor Wheeler to do it.
I'm not gonna lie.
If they're sleeping on the sidewalk, you can actually forcibly move them. Unless you have some type of law that says that they can sleep in public.
Technically, it violates Oregon's sit-stand lay law.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sit for so long, you're not allowed to stand stationary for so long, and you're not allowed to lay down.
Vagrancy laws?
Oh, but for so long. Yeah, it's vagrancy laws, basically. It's Portland's sit, stand, lay law.
It's also apparently just plain illegal to block the entrances to federal buildings.
It is, because you impede federal, duly appointed federal agents or individuals from completing their duty. And so basically the police and the mayor of Portland are supporting lawlessness yet again by not arresting all these people.
I also have a small update. I've seen the insides of those shields now. They're just heavy duty plastic, what do you call those? Like plastic, what's the word? Like drum barrels.
Oh, so they took pickle barrels and cut them open.
Okay.
Yeah, they just cut them in half and then put handles on the insides and painted them shiny. Yeah, that's all.
Well, to be fair, in the Society of Creative Anachronisms, a lot of people up in the Portland area used pickle barrels to make their armor for the rattan combats. So, not surprising.
Yes, they do, and they do that here too.
One of the people in the chat has a question for Scooby. It says, Rich at Art says, ask Scooby if he liked the fan art I made.
He must have hopped out of the chat. Yes, I loved it. Thank you so very much. It was awesome.
Okay.
There's 3 hours difference between me and Portland, yeah?
Where are you at specifically?
Toronto, Eastern time.
Yeah, 3 hours difference.
Sorry, Scooby, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, he made me this piece of artwork, like similar to Biker Mice from Mars because of my Mickey avatar. but he's dressed like an American commando, and he's rocking my red, white, and blue hockey mask.
Nice, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm just and check this out. If I do decide that I'm gonna like really go like super professional with all this, I can't keep using the avatar. Gonna need new avatars and shit. So that's all I'm saying, man. I'll wait till actually I get told I have to take down the Mickey avatars though by Disney. When they confront me like, yo, you got to take that down, that's when I'll change it. The same way like what happened with Bearing. That's when you know you've arrived.
I think you're still in fair.
Man.
I was gonna say, I think you're still in fair use territory, dude, because of the uniform.
It's actually, get this, that's actually what you're looking at is a piece of art that's hanging in a museum in Milan. It's actually Frank Papsch. It's German is horrible. How do you say the goddamn mouse?
Das verdammte Maus.
That's the name of the thing.
Yeah.
That's the name of the picture that you're looking at. It's an actual piece of art. That's the thing. I got told by Twitter I had to take it down, and I sent the thing to Jack Dorsey. I'm like, this is a piece of art, because he said it was Nazi propaganda, and he had to let me keep it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you love using their own shit against them.
Yeah, no shit. It's got a sting, dude. You know that's right.
So, guys, have y'all heard about this? This almost looks like... Oh, this is a Louisiana woman. I have got a Louisiana woman story from about 6 hours ago. Woman trashes restaurant. Hit owner's car after receiving wrong food order.
Holy shit.
A Louisiana woman was arrested for allegedly trashing a Chinese restaurant and hitting the owner's vehicle after her food order was not made properly, police say. According to the police report released Monday, the customer, identified by the police as 20-year-old Jasmine Thompson, visited China King on Selday, Louisiana, last Thursday. Thompson reportedly became irate with the employees after her food was not made properly. Thompson began throwing utensils and sauces around the restaurant while yelling racial slurs at the staff. As Thompson fled the restaurant, she hit the owner's car with her own vehicle, according to the report. Police were called to the scene about 6:30 p.m. by witnesses who gave the authorities license plate information for her car. Thompson was stopped by the police and charged with criminal damage, disturbing the peace, hit and run, and not having valid insurance.
Yeah.
So, moral to the story is if you're gonna use your vehicle for a criminal act like this, make sure you got your insurance paid up.
Think about the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. The woman's driving around at the mall parking lot, tries to find a spot, almost gets it, and these two young girls zip in front of her, and she gets so mad, and she just gets this calm face car into the girls. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? She goes, face it, girls. I'm a lot older, a lot smarter, and I have better insurance.
Part of that whole movie.
Yeah, that was a great line. And actually, my mom went to high school with Fannie Flagg. If y'all, she's the one that wrote that book. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, man.
I went to school with Big Ange from, was that Mob Wives or whatever the fucking name of that retarded embarrassment of a show is. So, I don't know. It's she was the one. She just passed away. She sounded like this.
Oh.
It's my aunt in high school.
Like Liz Reptile's sister.
I'm really not too familiar with Liz Reptile.
She's not bad.
The way you were just
I don't
talking.
watch her as much.
Yeah, I was just The sound sounded like that. It reminded me of her.
She sounds like she smokes 8 cartons a day.
Yes, she does.
She sounds like this all the time.
Yeah,
but a lot more Yeah, but a lot more Gentile.
Slithery.
Yeah, I haven't seen Liz in a while. Is she still making videos?
Yeah, man.
I have no.
She's still around. Yeah.
Oh,
She must have got-
Laying low though since all the bullshit.
Okay. That must explain it. She used to be on Mines all the time, and I haven't seen anything.
And there's supposedly some type of. All right, check this out. All right, because Weibo asked me about this the other night, and I don't know. Now there's rumors out that Kraut has been in concert with JF to try to like gaslight the whole deal about what happened, last fall and shit, to try to to make it look different so he can come back and start doing his thing again. So that's because last week it was really weird, and I didn't understand what was going on with the Kumite and shit, because it sounded like, and Coach Red Pill's name was in there too, and it was like, what the fuck is going on with this bunch? So anyway, I just that's the latest. That's true scuttlebutt. So I don't have any proof of any kind. Just people talking. So that's the latest. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Gaslight.
Well, man, we're getting close to 9.
Yeah, we are. We did not do a pre-show. Do y'all want to go ahead and start doing the show before we back out? So if you want to start, please start, Miss Tara.
TerraSynn, you can find me on pretty much any social media. I do have a YouTube channel, so you could go and subscribe. In the description is the links to my PayPal and my Streamlabs. I'm trying to get a new sewing machine. I'm $174 away. If you could donate, every little bit counts. I actually had an Aussie donate $1. That's why I'm $174 away. Help me. I need money. I need a sewing machine.
Got anything any videos you want to show?
Anything right now.
Okay. All right, and I guess we'll go in ascending. All right, so Irving.
I'm Irving Twin, the angry drunk Canadian, scouring the armpits of the internet for up-to-date information and not doing well.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. As far as I can see.
No, man, you are doing good.
You got anything you wanna show?
I try to put. I mean, Trudeau's my prime minister. I'll have something eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah, no shit, dude. No shit.
Only a matter of time.
Scooby?
I'm Scooby331. You guys know the deal. You can follow me here on YouTube. I'm on Minds.com, GabAI, Patreon, and PayPal. I am currently in suspended limited state again on Twitter because Jack is just a sissy Mary and doesn't like people who use harsh language.
It's a poofy spaz. Hashtag poofy spaz. Hashtag free not Scooby331 and free Scooby331.
What was all that?
I said
Just
free Scooby331. Hashtag free Scooby331.
Okay.
As far as videos go, I'm going to try to put up a few things this week. We'll just have to see what happens. I'm more of a reactionary than a planner. If something good comes down the pike and I got a good opinion about it, I'll share it. If my opinion is mediocre, I don't bother cutting a video. So we'll have to see what happens this week.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, 6.
I am the Next 6 Minutes. You can follow me on the Next 6 Minutes YouTube channel. You must spell out the word 6, just like it's you see on the screen of my name. If you don't, then you won't. You also can follow me on the Next Live Streams, which is my live streams channel, my primary live streams channel. Let's see. I did have one or two things that I was going to bring up. Oh, next month I'm having my 150th subscriber special stream, and I'm gonna have a couple of special guests, and we're gonna rock hard. We're gonna rock so hard with hard rocks and rocking in a hard fashion.
Pop rocks.
They're not quite hard enough. They need to be harder. Anyhow, let's see. I want to thank everybody that showed up Saturday to watch my stream. I was filling in for Weibo. She was out doing some family stuff, and that's why we swapped nights. She was on my Thursday night, and I was on her Saturday night. So that's how that went down.
Sorry again, man, that I couldn't make that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, and I was retarded, so that's the reason I didn't make that. So
okay.
Now I know what 60 time is. I'm so goddamn dumb. All right, Vetran Mountainman.
Well, I am the Vetran Mountainman. I will be hosting Chaos 120 tomorrow night. Also, I just got a tweet that I cannot believe on Twitter, so I'm going to do some research into it. And, of course, I'm chasing something from Diane Feinstein today. It will probably make my Regulatory Tuesday. This other one may actually be my Paid Content Tuesday video, so you should definitely check in and maybe see about becoming a Minds or Gab AI user, because you'll be able to get my paid content.
All right, and Burnside, the voice of Burnside.
I'm actually here for a change.
Yay!
They haven't had sent me to go do things.
All right, so you have anything you want to show?
Yes. When I'm not being worked to death, I will be getting the next part of Backline up between Wednesday, Thursday, if all goes according to plan. Aside from that, I'm going to do some digging around and see what else is going on, because it's been relatively quiet, but I still want to figure out what the hell the cops are protesting for downtown. I know that was a while ago, but I'm still like, that's such a rare occasion. It's like you just have to know.
Agreed.
But anyways, you can find me on YouTube, BitChute, Twitter, and Gab AI. If you want to watch Backline in sequence, go on Backline, not Backline, BitChute, sorry. Go into BitChute and look up Backline or Burnside in Kazakhstan, and you should be able to find the entire series there. I've also tried to organize it on YouTube, but they keep giving me content strikes, or technically us content strikes, because they don't like the fact that we don't use normie music. All
right. And I am, of course, Irate Prostate. You know that because you're on this channel. You're watching me. I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate every bit. Please subscribe if you're not. I got some fun stuff. I'm having a lot of fun right now when I'm not, laid up trying to piss blood. But tomorrow I'll be appearing on my weekly Red Pill Shark appearance. I don't know if Alex Jones will be there or not, but he may. And then, of course, I'll be doing Chaos after that. Thursday, Big Fat Brian and I is our True Crime Thursday, and we're going to go over Evil Genius. It's a 4-part series, and jump in right now. See all 4 parts. They're only 45 minutes a pop, man. You will be. It'll suck you in until you finish it. But there's some stuff that's got to be talked about. And I'm not saying whether it sucks you in because it's good or it's bad, okay? You're going to have to, wait until we talk about it. And then of course, Friday, Cream Stream with Wild Tanuki. So, with that in mind, that's pretty much it. Does anybody got anything they want to add before we split?
Got to say you could find his stuff on Redbubble under Reckless Flaggatry.
Oh crap! Yeah, I did forget about that. Sorry.
And I'm about to have some shrimp flavored ramen.
It's been a tiring set of 12 hours, but yeah, once I get my computer back, I'll finish up the rest of the work on the Imperium of Mankind flag. I'll make an announcement when I do get that damn sucker back, because they're still working on it. But, you know, fucking graphics card and that. But once I do get that back, you know, if anyone has any other submissions and such, you know, I'll be all ears.
All right, well, killer. Well, on behalf of the Chaos 120 bunch, this is Irate Prostate saying good evening, and y'all have a great week. Come back next Monday. We're going to be doing this all again. So take care, and good night.